यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःशुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः। So last time we saw almost 1, 2, 3, 4 and the fifth we just started. So we will just quickly go through the previous 3 or 4 slokas. Param bhuya pravakshami jnananam jnanamuttamam yajñātvā munayas sarve param siddhimito gatāh idam jnānamupāsritya mama sādharmyamāgataः sargēpi nopajāyante pralayena vyatanti ca mama yo nirmahat brahma tasmin garbham tadhamyaham sambhavah sarvabhutānām tato bhavati bharata sarvayonishu kaunteya मूर्तयः सम्भवन्ति याः तासां ब्रह्म महद्योनिः अहं बीजप्रदः। See, the first this one that Bhagavan said, he said, once again I shall impart that supreme knowledge, which is the greatest among all forms of knowledge, and gaining which all sages have reached the supreme goal from here. See, the supreme goal also, we'll just, last time we didn't see in detail. See, supreme goal, what is it? It talks about, we all know, Aham Brahmasmi, Brahman. And so what happens? What is once you have understood or you realize this, Krishna says in 9th chapter, it's very nicely he puts 9.5, 6 and 7. He says, all are in me. First one. Next is, but I am not in them. And in the third sloka, he says, really, none is in me, nobody is in me. It looks a little puzzling. In fact, this is what a realized person will experience. For example, because just see, by experiencing samadhi, in the samadhi state, what happens? Like sleep, nothing is there, except me. That's what in the last of this one, Bhagavan says. Actually, nobody is. That is the real state. And he also said, but all are in me. Like, let's say, the dream or the waking state. something like that. Everybody is in me. And he says, I am not in them. That means he is not affected whatever is happening in the world or in the various bodies. So, what sort of, that feeling or one has, I remember a sloka which Hanuman says to Rama in a particular state. I think it's a very famous, everybody must be knowing. Deha buddhya tad asoham. Jiva buddhya tad amsakah. That is, I am your amsam. Atma buddhya tvam evaham. We are not different. Iti me nischita matihi. That's what I have seen, I have realized. So all the three stages is going to be there. But that manobhava, that attitude, that feeling is, when I have this body, that means when we are doing and then so many things in the active state, we feel, that means feel means we need not tell. We know that I am your dasa, means that I am doing everything because of the Bhagavan or Ishvara. So that daily we say, because of that, I am doing and I am your dasa. And when at mind level, I feel I am your amsha, a part of you in the mind, as long as mind is active. Then Atma Buddhya, say like in Samadhi state, there is no difference. Tvam evaham. We are the same. Aham Brahmasmi. So there is no difference. It's what Hanuman says to Rama. It is, in fact, in every one of us. Actually, we can feel that, what he says. We can understand that. And in that moment, that attitude or the manobhavam, when we are in the waking state, there is another sloka, Sivamanasa Pucha, I think. This also is very one of us you have heard. Atmatvam Girija Matihi. It's Sahachara Pranaha, it goes on like Sri Sariram Graham and Nitra, what is that, Samadhi Sthiti and all. So, this feeling that Manobhavam is always, it's like that. So, I am you and my Madhi, that mind or the brain, it is Girija. That means it's a combination. So, and my body is like a temple. So it is, with this bhavam, when we go around, we say, there is a feeling that I am doing that prajakshanam. So whatever I talk, it is this thing, chanting of your nama, like that. So this is the state or the feeling with which the person who was realized, he goes around. But it is very difficult for others. It may not be possible to really understand. See, if we have seen many of these realized souls or our gurus and all, but there is a difference. That is, again, we will see later because of the guna. So that will continue to act. Only thing they are gunatita. It doesn't affect them. Even there is a story. Externally, it will appear as if he is worried and all these things. Rama, when he was searching for Sita, he looks very, he cries and he was so unhappy. So after seeing that, Parvati Parameshwara, it's a story. Parvati says to Shiva, he is actually so much worried and he is in real difficulty. So let us try to help him. Shiva says, no, he is not like that. No, there is no help required for him, for Rama. Then he says, then I will go and try to help. So Parvati goes there and stands near a tree in the way he was, that is on the path in which Rama was going. First, Rama will not even notice her. And again, she goes to another tree below that, near the path. And she was in Sita's, like Sita. And when Rama sees her, he will say, he'll understand. Hey, Parvati, where is Parmasivan? You're not, he is not there, is it? Like that, he will, just like that, he will talk. Then she understands. Then she reveals why she came and talking like Sita. So then she understands. Even though he is Rama, almost an avatara, but in actual life, it's there in earlier some of the slokas also. He acts as if like any other human being, but inside he is not, because he is not at all worried. So most of the realist people or gurus, they are like that. In trouble, they may be doing something and all, so they will be working, because in this other next few slokas we will understand it is all happening because of the gunas effect on the in the individual. So it varies depending on the ratio of the three gunas. So this is what one should understand. So always the three stages of life, it will continue, but for a realist person, it doesn't affect them. So it's what in this 14th chapter we will understand. Then in the next sloka, it says once a person has understood this, so he has no next janma and all. This also we have seen last time. That means his mind has become totally free. There is nothing, desire or any other program which one has to attend to. So it is so clean. So when see, it is the mind, or when we say the ego, is made of these three gunas only. So accordingly, it acts. And so depending on that, what at the last stage, how it is, depending on that, the next, janma, if at all it is there, it happens. And the appropriate yoni, it enters and all these things we have seen. So for people who have really understood everything, there is no such thing left. So there is no next janma. That's why many people, they say, I should not have more janma. From the point of suffering, they say, but really, if one has understood, so the real, that one, which we say, that was seen or realized that Am Brahmasmi, so for him, there was no birth nor death. So there is no next janma and all these things. So this we will see in the next few slokas. So the Purusha and Prakriti, which we saw in detail in the last few, in the last session. The Purusha Prakriti, that is consciousness and matter, is the cause of creation. They together. And this mixture of these two, we call Ishvara. This we have seen in Tattva long time back. So, actually Ishvara is neither matter or pure Prakriti or pure Purusha. It is a mixture of these two. And because of that only creation takes place. What we say is, we are all created by Ishvara, Bhagavan. Actually, this is the thing, when these two, because of this mixture, the creation takes place. So that's why in the next sloka, he says, I am the seed of all beings. Aham bija prajapita. So, means what? The consciousness or the Brahman or Purusha, it enlivens Maya by blessing it with, we call it reflected consciousness, which is reflected in him. We call it Chidabhasa. Or, so what Brahma or Krishna says is, I blessed Maya and therefore I am the universal Pita or universal Father. So just to explain that, it is this particular sloka is there. So here one has to understand, earlier also we have seen avidya plus Purusha is the Jiva. Purusha plus Prakriti we call Ishvara. This also we have seen in Tattva. But the difference is between Jiva and Ishvara is, Ishvara, the total, we call it Brahman, Atma, and the Prakriti, Maya. This combination is Ishvara we have seen. Ishvara is not affected by even though it consists of, all the three gunas, it is unaffected. Gunatita, Ishvara. Whereas the individual, the Jiva, combination of Purusha and we call it avidya. Avidya is what? Ignorance. Because of that, the Jiva has formed, but it is not free from the three gunas. Its main, this thing is gunas only. That mainly the ego, it consists of guna. Ahankara, we call. So the fifth, this thing we will go. In fact, this class we will try to cover next 3-4 stanzas. Sattvam rajastamayiti guna prakriti sambhavaha nibatnanti mahabaho dehe dehinamavyayam. Sattvam rajastamayiti guna prakriti sambhavaha nibatnanti mahabaho dehe dehinamavyayam. So, Sattvam, Raja, Tama. These three gunas, Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. Iti gunaha, these are the word by word we are just saying. So these are the three gunas. Prakriti Sambhava, born of Prakriti. Nibatnanti, they fasten, binds. Avyayam Dehina, the changeless self, Dehe, in the body. Mahabaho means, O Arjuna. So, Sattvam, Rajas and Tama, these three gunas, born of Prakriti, they fasten the changeless self in the body. So, this fasten or binds we'll see really what happens. As we saw earlier, Bhagavan or Ishvara is a mixture of consciousness and matter. And therefore, every one of us is also a mixture of both. And what is the material aspect of any individual? And what is the material aspect of individual? The physical body is material in nature. It is made up of Prakriti Tattvam. Because body is made up of matter and body has got so the attributes, gunas, properties are there, physical properties. It can be fat, lean, it is tall, healthy, it is sick, and all these things. So the body, which is of Prakriti, it is saguna, that is the technical term for that. So it is subject to change. So the body comes under the Prakriti part. Similarly, the mind also comes under the Prakriti part. And so there is what is the other one? Other than the body-mind complex, it is Purusha Tattvam, which is consciousness principle. If you remember, because this, even though it is simple, one has to remember this. Consciousness is not part or product of the body. It is an independent entity which pervades and enliven's the body. And consciousness principle is not limited to or limited by the boundaries of the body. It goes beyond. And the consciousness principle does not die when the body dies. And finally, the surviving consciousness principle cannot be contacted by us because it is there is no medium of contact. Because the Panchendriyas and all, we can't see. This also we have seen many times. So this consciousness principle enlivens the body and the mind. And this consciousness is called Sakshi Tattvam, Purusha Tattvam, the witness principle. That means the changeless witness of all the changes that happen. It's a witness. That's why the word witness is used. Really, at the ultimate stage, there is no witness because it alone exists. But it's generally called witness Sakshi Tattva. The body, it appears that it is sentient. But it is not because it is its intrinsic sentience. It was not there. But because of borrowed sentiency, it is called Chidabhasa. It's a term in Sanskrit. That means Pratibimba Chaitanya. In English, we call it reflected consciousness. Similarly, the mind also is made of subtle matter. This also in Tattvabodha, it is that the body-mind complex is otherwise called Prakriti. And it has also the borrowed sentiency or borrowed consciousness. So, Sariram plus Chidabhasa or reflected consciousness, we call it Ahankara. So we must be able to differentiate the Gunatita Sakshi and Saguna Ahankara. But this is the thing which we are going to see. In fact, once who has understood this, in the earlier chapter, it was, what is that? Kshetra Kshetrajna. That is the Kshetram and the one which knows the Kshetram. So similarly, that means the seer and the seen. And it was explained how one can differentiate and understand. So the Prakriti, which has got three gunas, Ahankara has got these three gunas. Bhagavan wants to tell about the nature of each guna and how each guna tends or binds a person, and what are the indications of the presence of each guna, and what will be the consequences of respective all this. We call it bondage. The guna has got another meaning. The other meaning is a rope or a shackle. So the word shackle or rope is nothing but guna, and guna's other name. It indicates it is a rope which binds you to ahankara. And through that samsara, it is binds ahankara to samsara. And to break the shackles of these three gunas and discover the freedom of moksha, that is our aim. So how to break the shackle? We will see this in this chapter. According to scriptures, even the most inert object in the creation also has got these three gunas. What about plant kingdom? It has also these three gunas. Animals also has the three gunas. Because the entire world, samsara, it's made of gunas. So definitely the human beings, they also have got the three gunas. Everyone is a mixture of these three gunas. But the difference in a particular thing is because of the different proportions in the gunas. If you see, sattva guna makes the character of or the nature of individual to be jnana pradana purusha, and opposite, diagonally opposite, is Rajapradana. In Rajasic character, it will be Karma Pradana, activity oriented. In Tamo Guna, it will be the suppression of both. More inertia will be there. All the three gunas cause bondage in different ways. For liberation, one has to use the three gunas only as stepping stone. Even though they are the cause of bondage, one has to intelligently use them and transcend them. The pole vaulter, most of you, they use the big stick, a pole, and cross the this thing which is kept on a great height, and after crossing they leave the pole. That's why they take this example. We make use of the gunas, cross over, and leave the gunas. That means you understand that we are unaffected by these three gunas. So this is going to be the analysis in the verses which we are going to see, right from 5th, which we are just now saw. So the 6th verse is Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakasagamanāmayam sugasankena batnāti jnānasangena chānaga. Tatram sattvam nirmalatvat prakasagamanāmayam sugasankena batnāti jnānasangena chānaga. Tatra, among them, it is among the three gunas, sattva guna, prakashagam is bright, anamayam, that is, and harmless, it is bright and harmless, nirmalatvat, due to its purity. Batnati, it binds, sukasangena, by causing attachment to sukam, that is pleasure. Sukasangena cha, jnana sangena, and by causing attachment to knowledge. Sangena, jnana sangena, attachment to knowledge. Anaga means, O Arjuna. So what it says, among them, that is three gunas, sattva is bright and harmless due to its purity. It binds by causing attachment to sukha, pleasure, and by causing attachment to knowledge, jnana, O Arjuna. So the three gunas can be divided into 5. In verse number 6, that is this verse, Krishna talks about sattva lakshana, sattva bandhana prakriti. Sattva bandhana prakaraha. So the tatra, among these three gunas of ahankara, when sattva is predominant in an individual, in a person, that is in the ahankara, nirmalatvat, it is called suddha sattvam or nirmal sattvam. It means when sattva guna is dominant, the other two gunas will not contaminate, influence or pollute the sattva guna. When raja and tamas do not affect, what will be the nature of that sattva prakashakam? When sattva guna is nirmala, that means not influenced by tamo guna, which is dullness. So tamas stands for dullness. Therefore, prakashatmakam. Therefore, a sattva pradhana mind will have clarity of thinking. When Rajoguna pollutes the Sattva, the mind will be restless, wandering, wavering. When Sattva-guna is predominant and Rajoguna does not influence, that Sattva-guna is Niramayam. Prakashamatmakam means unpolluted by Tamoguna. Niramayam means unpolluted by Rajoguna. Niramayam means free from tension, free from stress, free from strain, free from restlessness. When Rajoguna pollutes, the mind cannot relax. But when Sattva-guna is predominant, you want quietude, and it becomes a cause of bondage. Whereas a realized or liberated person is defined as a person who does not depend even on quietude or seclusion for fulfillment and happiness. So that bondage is not there for him. Any type of dependence is bondage. Sattva-guna creates noble dependence, but noble dependence is also dependence. Sukha Sangena, the Sattvic Ahankara needs seclusion, quietude, etc. And that need becomes bondage. That means wanting seclusion and quietude. And second type of bondage is Jnana Sangena. Sattvic mind is attached to knowledge. It is introvert mind which wants to think and know and study and increase the range of knowledge. So this is also a type of bondage. So let us see the Rajoguna. It is 7th verse. Rajo ragatmakam vitti trishna sangamu samudbhavam tannibatnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. Rajo ragatmakam vitti trishna sanga samudbhavam tannibatnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. Viddhi. Understand, Rajaha Rahatmaham, it is Rajas, the guna, to be of the nature of passion. Raga, we know, Raga Dvesham, that Raga. Trishna Sanga Samudbhavam, and to be the cause of desire and attachment. Trishna Sanga Samudbhavam. Tad Nibatnati, that means it binds Dehina, self. How? Karma Sangena, by causing attachment to activity. Kaunteya, O Arjuna. Understand, Rajas to be the nature of passion and to be the cause of desire and attachment. It binds the self by causing attachment to activity. O Arjuna. Rajo ragatmakam viddhi. It is the nature of attachment and passion. A rajasic mind is highly extrovert and it always wants to relate with things and also people. Sattva is nivritti pradhana. That means seclusion and withdrawal. We saw earlier. Rajas makes a person pravritti pradhana. That is interested in companionship, in relationship, and in interaction. Krishna means desire for external things. Lot of passion. But we require all this, each guna, to attain liberation. For example, Karma Yoga will require activity. For example, let's say Panchamaha Yajna will require activity. So we will require Rajoguna. And of course, the study of Vedanta will require Sattvaguna. The Samudbhavam, that word we saw, means it is the source. Whereas Udbhavam means that not producing. Samudbhavam means it's a source. So Rajoguna is the source of desire and attachment. So this is Rajoguna definition. Ragatmakam, of the nature of attachment. The bondage is karma sangena, by making him attached to karma. All the time. Karma sanga makes him workaholic. We have seen many like this. The bondage is karma sangena, by working, that is, by making one attached to karma all the time. So karma sanga makes him a workaholic. That's what we saw. Karma sangena means attachment to karma is here binding. What about sattva? It is jnana sangena. Here it is karma sangena. Both are binding. Now let us go to next verse, 8. Tamastvajnanajam viddhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadalasya nidrabhi tannibatnati bharata. Tamastvajnanajam viddhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramada alasya nidrabhi tannibatnati bharata. Again, viddhi means understand. This is the 8th verse. Tamathu, the tamas, to be ajnanajam, born of ajnana, ajnanajam, born of ajnana. Mohanam means the deluder. Sarvadehinam, all beings. Tadnibatnati, it binds. Pramada alasya nidrabihi, by causing pramada, negligence, inattention. Then nidrabhihi, of course we know sleep. Alasya means indolence. So always, one is feels tired and that sort of thing. So one has to understand that this is understand tamas to be born of ajnana and to be the deluder of all beings. It binds by causing negligence, indolence, and sleep. So now comes the tamoguna lakshana and the tamoguna bandhana prakara, how it binds. Tamahattu ajnanam tu vidhi. Tamoguna also is born of ajnana. Ajnanam in the context means prakriti. Because it's all because of prakriti. Mohanatmagam. Mohanam means delusion. That means there is no clear thinking. And also, there is no goal in life. Definition of tamoguna, mohanatmakam, of the nature of delusion. The delusion is the main thing here. And how does tamoguna bind a person? Pramada means carelessness, negligence with regard to proper utilization of the body. So this is tamoguna. It's one is completely different from the other. So here there is no confusion as it is. When the combination comes only, we have to carefully see. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati rajak karmani bharata jnanamavritya tu tamaha pramade sanjayachyuta. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati rajakarmani bharata jnanamavritya tu tamaha pramade sanjayachyuta. Sattvam sanjayati. Sattva binds one, sukhe, to pleasure. Rajas binds one, that means that is understood. Karmani means to action. Utatu, whereas tamas sanjayati, tamas binds one, pramade, to negligence, attentionless, inattention. Avritya, by how it, avritya means by veiling. What? Jnanam, the discriminative power. O Bharata, O Arjuna. So, Sattvam binds one to pleasure. This again, all together, this verse explains. Rajas binds one to action, whereas tamas binds one to negligence by veiling the discriminative power, O Arjuna. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati. Sattva causeth addition to quietude, nibriti, withdrawal, silence. Addiction to silence is also a form of addiction. So, sukha, Sangha is the mode of bondage. Then Rajoguna causes another form of addiction. Karma Sangena, we saw earlier. So it causes addiction to karma. Doing karma is actually harmless. Addiction to karma is a problem. Similarly, enjoying silence is very nice, wonderful. But addiction to silence creates problem. Tamoguna finds how pramade is carelessness, lack of attention. So, no job is done wholeheartedly. Whatever job he does, there are mistakes, there are corrections required. That is there are always corrections required. So, Pramada Sankaha. See here, these three gunas, how it really affects. There is a description in, let me see whether I can get. It is from Srimad Bhagavatam, volume 4, chapter 13, page 66. Tapasyananda, 4 volume, most of you would have seen. So it is, in fact, it's a very, I would say, in a harsh way, especially the Thomas he has put. It's a small table, very, what do you call, precisely these three gunas are explained. So Satvika Pradhana, which if Satvika dominates, what happens? Every topic he says, scripture. The Satvika fellow, he reads dealing with renunciation, that sort of topic. Rajas man, he reads scriptures with worldly benefits. The Tamas guy, here it is given as, he reads about atheism. Then water, when it comes to water, for Satvika, it is holy water. For Rajasika, it is fragrant water. And for Tamasika, it is written as liquor. So all these people, Satvika people, they are endowed with renunciation. And Rajasika, they are engaged in worldly matters. And Tamasika, they are given to sinful ways. Then place they would like to be. Satvika is solitude. And Rajasika, always crowded place like highway and all. And Tamasika, gambling dens. And regarding time, Satvika people, for them, very early morning, right from 4 a.m., it is written exactly like 4 a.m. And for Rajasika, it is evening. And for Tamasika, it is midnight. Actions. So actions for Satvika, it is scripture oriented. It is desire prompted action. And for Tamas, it is black magic. It is written like that. So it is on the Lord. That is meditation. On the Lord, on worldly matters for Rajas, on enemies, it is Tamas. Mantra, Pranava for Satvika or other spiritual enlightenment. Those for Rajas, it is worldly gains. And for Tamoguna people, it is relating to evil spirits. Samskaras, purificative work, those leading to purification of the mind. Extra attention to trimming body and all these things, it is for Rajoguna people. So these are, and Tamoguna people, they spend time on cleaning unholy places. It's really, it is there in Srimad Bhagavad and last 13th chapter in the 11th skanda. So now we will see. Okay. Oh, it's already 12. So we'll finish here. Ekam sastram devaki putra geetam eko devo devaki putra eva eko mantrastasya namani yani karma ekam tasya devasya seva. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.